Sup everyone, Darkscream217 here. With me are two special guests, Lance Echidna,
What's up, guys?
alright, and Multifire.
Hello.
And today, just like about 2 years ago with Multifire and Big Al, we're going to do a pre-impressions, thoughts, pan play before we play the game panel on a video game, the only video game I've actually been anticipating actually for this entire year.
Yeah,
And
pretty good fighting game. I'm hyped for.
I'm pretty excited for this game too. Injustice Gods Among Us, from the makers of the newest and greatest Mortal Kombat game. I still stick to that opinion despite the story being a little but I still
Yep.
think it's the best Mortal Kombat game out there. From NetherRealm Studios. And yeah, I have been following this game like a hawk. Um, even read the comments, been following the marketing, been checking out the trailers, been checking out Battle Arena tournaments, even though I'm not a fan of who would win in this fight, so and so or so and so and why would you think that way? I, you
I'm
know,
just
like,
glad it's not going to end with the stereotypical. Oh, it's going to end with Superman versus Batman, which I'm glad that didn't happen.
uh, Lance,
What?
Superman versus Batman is the final match.
Oh. Well, still they come out hyping though.
It's pretty sad. The only reason why I was following it because I wanted to see the gameplay footage of Injustice, and yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of those theoretical fights like Goku versus Superman. When that thing was all over the internet, I did not give a flying fuck. Don't care, don't care, don't care. But anyways, let's talk about our thoughts when we found out that the game was announced sometime last year during the summer. Multifire, I want to start with you, then to me, then to Lance, because you are related to the first time I've heard about this game.
I actually don't remember the first time I heard about this game, but I assume I was optimistic. Then I was a little. I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure I was worried about the story because the story in Mortal Kombat I think was the weakest part. But based on what I've heard, they've done a really good job with the story. It's at least better than the new 52, and the new 52 has completely destroyed the DC universe. So it's nice to see something at least better than that. And the fighting engine looks really, really solid. So I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know if I have anything else to say.
Alright, now for me. Um, After Mortal Kombat was released, and, I keep thinking back between that game and Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe and the newly found NetherRealm Studios, which is actually midway with most of midway with a new name. I was thinking to myself, since NetherRealm is part of the is part of Warner Brothers and stuff, and Warner Brothers has the license to DC Comics, they could just make another standalone DC fighting game people wouldn't complain about, because the real problem with Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, the big major issue is that you are merging superhero characters who have been pretty PG 13. I mean, yeah, they had some pretty brutal, gory moments in the comic books, but most of the time it's like PG 13 stuff mixed with M rated material, and the M rated material had to tone down for the PG 13. That's like the real controversial issue behind that. But if NetherRealm were just to make a standalone DC fighting game of some sort, maybe with the Mortal Kombat engine, I don't think people would complain. I think people might be looking forward to it. Well, one morning or one afternoon after work, I get a text from Multifire and a bunch of links. He's saying, dude, you were absolutely right. NetherRealm's making a standalone DC fighting game. You really are the fighting game messiah. So I look at the trailer. I'm like, okay, I think the people who were confirmed were Flash, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Harley Quinn, and Solomon Grundy. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Then I listened to the Ed Boon interview. Here's where I got a little skeptic. Ed Boon clearly said that this was going to take place in an alternate universe, and he said he was going to put a new spin on each of the characters and stuff. Well, And I was like, well, it's not going to be the comic book characters ever. It's just going to be alternate reality versions. But ever since I've been seeing the story trailers and how things are progressing, I'm more and more warming up to it. And I don't know much about the DC comics. That's Here's the weird thing about me. I love a lot of the shit from DC Universe. I did not hate the Green Lantern movie as much as everyone else did. I enjoy most of the Batman films, including Batman Forever. I love the cartoons, Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, um, Teen Titans, Young Justice Invasion. Well, Young Justice, it took a while for me to warm up to, but I did end up liking it at the end. You know, and all these DC animated films, Batman, Under the Red Hood, love that movie. Seen it like 3 times. Superman versus the Elites, I saw it 3 times on Netflix. Really like that movie. Justice League Doom. Friend of mine told me he didn't like it. I sat down, and eventually watched it. I didn't really hate it. I actually enjoyed that movie too. I just love all the stuff that comes out from the DC universe. But when it comes to picking up the actual comics, I've been very hesitant. I'm not sure why. I have less of a reason to do so because New 52, the second major reboot in the DC universe just happened, which
Mm-hmm.
makes all it makes me makes it even less interesting to check out some of the older comics because those don't have a continuity to them anymore. But I do like DC. I do like some stuff about DC more, and I do wish certain DC characters would get bigger pushes, which we may get a little bit into later on. But yeah, I've been pretty excited for Injustice. Now, Lance, your thoughts when you first heard about this game?
Well, when I was informed about Injustice, it was pretty much kind of like yours. I didn't hear anything until when I got home from work, and I just hopped on Facebook, and all my friends, a few of my friends, kept like posting the same trailer. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, okay, Injustice. I looked at it, to my, it was from NetherRealm Studios. I'm like, huh? It's like, oh, okay. So, just like you, I just came off Mortal Kombat, which I was still playing, and I'm still playing to this day, by the way.
I played the Vita
And
version.
and I'm looking at this trailer. I'm like, oh, so they decided to make another DC fighting game. Like you, I was kind of skeptic at first because I kept thinking back to Mortal Kombat versus DC. When after I saw the actual gameplay footage of it, I'm like, okay, NetherRealm is finally legit. They was already legit with Mortal Kombat, but this one they finally legit. I was excited for this game because I really wanted a good DC fighting game. And now we finally got it, and not only that, but we got a good cast of. Right now we have a good selection of characters. You got your Batman, uh, Nightwing, Solomon Grundy, Destro, Green Arrow, Green Lantern. All those guys. I'm really excited for this game. Um, I mean, I really, man, I don't know what else to say, man. I'm excited for this game.
Dude, I'm buying. I'm actually getting the strategy guide with this. I usually don't buy strategy guides to a lot of things, but there's two reasons for that. One, I do want to support this game that much. Two, the criticism I actually have for Mortal Kombat as well as this game, since I already played the demo, is that you do have to pause the game and look up people's move sets for more of a familiarity. You can't just like in most fighting games, even when I don't look up the move set, I wing it because they all almost have the same structure. It's like
Yeah,
okay,
have like the quarter forward, the
it's like
quarter
quarter
back.
circle forward punch. Okay, that does that. Okay, what if I dragon punch? What if I charge? And I can actually learn the game fairly easy. I mean, I did that with Aqua Bazaar, which is this Japanese only fighting game from this one licensing company. Characters from Two Heart and Comic Party made an appearance, as well as Utawari, yeah, Utawari Ramono, or however you say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I played a match of that game with somebody, and I was the character Multi, which is this green-haired android chick with the broom, and I was getting my ass kicked pretty badly. But once I started, picking up the game immediately, I made a hardcore comeback and actually dominated that match just from just from winging at the move set. But here, um, like I said, some of the move sets are just
They're really confusing, but something you see out of a Mortal Kombat game because you got your back forward input, you got your probably for some of the
down
other
forward.
characters. I imagine
It's
they're gonna have
down
like the
forward A,
forward inputs.
back forward A, which is the ones that get me the most because I don't even like charger characters all that much. Um, and the game's like we'll talk more about the gameplay structure and when we get to the demo. But Multifire, you say you're actually down with the Mortal Kombat like move sets.
I am. I love it. Mortal Kombat's always been one of my favorite fighting game franchises, and I've always loved the way these special moves are done. So to see them adopt sort of the new Mortal Kombat engine was really nice. I'm glad they're using it. I so far I really enjoy all the characters. I enjoy the way they play. I enjoy the way that Batman says "Get down here" when he launches little bat grappler at people when they're in the sky. It's a really enjoyable game. I love the environmental damage. They really upped the environmental damage. They upped the ridiculousness on the super moves. They really mastered the engine, I feel, and made it better.
Yeah, they said that since this was going to be a T-rated game, they can't go for the over-the-top gore, so they sacrificed it with just over-the-top, almost DBZ-esque, combos and finishers, which I'm
Yeah,
down for. And it is believable. I can believe
Yeah,
Superman can uppercut somebody into orbit and then fly and just punch him back down, and it's always really cool to look at. I mean, some of these finishers, goddamn Doomsdays, where he
dude,
just,
man, I remember when I first. Oh my god,
oh man, it's just amazing. Now,
never seen it. People look it up. We won't say what it is. Just watch it.
all right. Now for the story of Injustice. Like I said, I was skeptic because it's not the official DC universe. It is an alternate universe. And in this alternate universe, uh some bad shit happened to Superman. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible because Multifire here wants to read the comics, and the comics are actually online for 99 cents an issue, and there's like 11 or 12 issues out there. So that's a fucking sweet deal. Damn right
Hmm.
I'm going to pick up and read those. And by the way, they've actually been pretty clever with their marketing in some areas. Like they released an iOS game which I scoffed and stuck my nose up at. It's like, why would people play
Shaw.
that? But then it turns out that it turns out that they released the iOS game early for free, and for those who do play it, get a couple bonus contents. I'm like, fuck.
I have to check it out now.
I wish I could check it out, but I don't have an iPad or an iPod or anything to play an iOS game on. Oh, if they only made it for PS Vita. But on the story to Injustice is that bad shit happens to Superman. He lost the love of his life, and he lost his entire town. Superman, and I don't know if you know this, but if a hero loses his hometown, he's gonna go fucking crazy. We've seen Hal Jordan do that.
Yeah, you were a little cuckoo with the rings.
Yes, I want to rebuild my
I'm
city.
fucking
You can't do
crazy.
that. I'm under a lot of stress. Why? Because everyone you love is dead. Fuck everything. Well, actually, Superman kind of semi-handle it better in comparison to Hal Jordan in Emerald Twilight. He decided that he's just not going to put up with the conflicts all over the world and all the bullshit. So he tried to basically declare himself dictator and basically trying to keep world peace. Could have been worse. He could have just blew up the whole planet. But yeah, and the game story. This is what I've been mostly explaining is in the comics, but in the game's plot, it's basically Superman's regime versus Batman's insurgency. Batman's trying to rebel against the system, and I don't know who's on what side. They've been hinting at trail. They've been hinting who's on whose side in the trailers, but I may make some guesses when we go down the character list. But yeah, it does have vibes of Marvel Civil War in it, except that villains are getting involved. If villains were involved in Civil War,
Shit about to get real.
Marvel
Sorry, for
Civil
Civil
War.
War. Yeah, they were.
Oh, villains were
They
involved.
joined. Yeah, they joined both sides. You had the Thunderbolts on one side, and you had people trying to join Captain America's side as well. The Punisher killed a couple of them because they were villains and wouldn't allow it. But
Wow. Well, that's the Punisher for you. Um,
yeah,
yeah, it basically it felt like Civil War, which again I was really skeptic about because I've heard mixed to mostly negative things about Civil War. But
if not bad things.
I've seen the story. The story trailer for that game was so fucking amazing.
Hmm.
Oh man, it was really awesome. So, but then again, I am looking forward to it, and I am curious on what spins that Ed Boon claims to make on some of these
I'm just really
characters.
interested in the story since NetherRealm was behind it. Not everyone can agree on this, but I thought the story in Mortal Kombat was amazing. I think every fighting game company after Mortal Kombat should take notes on NetherRealm and how to present a story mode. Yeah, and I say the story mode was excellent except for the very last part.
Which is what
But
Multicore
besides
and I
that,
had to complain about. That
Yeah.
yeah,
last part.
which I don't like either. But before that, it had an excellent story mode, and I'm excited for a story mode for Injustice, which is really weird. I'm actually saying I'm excited for the
Story
story
in
in a
a
fighting game.
game. Well, yeah, same here. Because in the story of Mortal Kombat, the way they told the story was really good. Cutscene fight, and it had a wonderful cinematic presentation and everything.
Hmm.
I have hope that Injustice will do the same. I also heard that they're adding some mini game elements in between some of the scenes. Like I heard there was like from one interview from I believe the guy's name is Hector Sanchez. He says that there's one mini game where you play as Batman and you fight against Lex Luthor, but before the actual match starts, you actually throw batarangs at him, and depending on how many you land on him, subtracts damage when the actual match begins.
That's
So that
interesting.
sounds interesting. My expectations for the story, um, I got two. I don't think one of them's gonna be achieved though. But the first one, I want to play as all 24 characters in this story mode. I don't want it to be like in Mortal Kombat where you only played as the good guys and two neutral characters. I want to play as Superman, Lex, Harley Quinn, Black Adam. I want everyone to get a decent cinematic story chance.
Hmm.
My expectations are pretty low on that, but I really like to give everyone a try in that game. Another expectation I have, I just don't want the game to end on a cliffhanger, just in case. I
Yeah.
uh, it, it, the game may do well and may get a sequel in the future run, but I would like the story to be neatly wrapped up a little just in case, and maybe have one little thing hanging, but that's it. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we all played the demo. In fact, last week when I called you guys up, dude, the demo's out. You two were like, ah, fuck, we
Now
got
on that shit now.
PS3s. We got PS3s, and Sony doesn't update till in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, it sucked.
So I got a head start of playing the demo, and after playing the demo, um, yeah, some stuff about it further solidifies how much I really like the game. I've been playing it on hard mode and doing a decent job at it, but when it came to very hard, I couldn't really get past the third match
I
sometimes.
heard Batman's like super cheap on hard mode. What I've been told.
I was actually able to beat Batman on hard mode. It's Lex Luthor and Doomsday I'm having a problem with.
Oh.
Yeah, in the demo, it takes place on Gotham City, and the three playable characters are Batman, Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor. However, if you go through the single player battle campaign, the deal the boss in it after fighting those three, you fight Doomsday. So that was
Mm.
pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely like some of the gameplay. The gameplay is definitely Mortal Kombat meets Blaze Blue.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else got that vibe, it had a light attack, a medium, a heavy attack, and then it had a character trait button, which is similar to a drive in Blaze Blue.
With something that could change like either it can be like a special move, or for some characters it could be like a stance change, like
Hmm.
for Wonder Woman or Nightwing.
Yeah, or it could be a buffer of some sort. It's pretty interesting. They also have multi-tiered environments like Dead or Alive, except I don't like how you have to do them. You actually have to like do a back heavy attack and hope it lands on them. I thought you could just.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be as easy as They're Alive. You just knock them towards the area, hit them with a heavy attack, and then boom. But no, apparently you have to like do a really a charge heavy attack basically.
Yeah, but you don't really have to charge it. You just have to hit the heavy attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I tried it before without charging it, and for some reason it just wouldn't connect. Um, I'm. I also like how they use some of the mana EX moves. It doesn't work like in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat where you just press a button attached with the attack button. Um, it depends on the move, but let's take Wonder Woman's little lasso throw attack. If you hit it and then quickly press the meter burn button, she would actually do an extra attack where she just grabs the enemy and just insults them and just chuck them on the ground, doing extra damage. Or if you're Batman and you're using the batarang projectile, you can press the R trigger anytime you want, and it will detonate the batarangs with a blast radius. I thought those were neat little touches to the game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty clever too. So like you don't just waste extra meter trying to put out an extra special move, and you don't even know if it's going to work or not. At least this way, if you know it hits, you can press it and you get the extra hit in.
Um, I love the fact that you can combo into some of the environmental hazards. I just love going punch, punch, knock you into the helicopter, punch, punch, kick some more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. However, if you play as a power guy and you're trying to lift something and throw it at them, they take forever in doing it. So I don't know if it's possible to combo into that. I've heard
Yeah.
from a tutorial demo from I forgot his name. I think it was something 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 Sabin. The only reason why he had made a tutorial video is because there was no training mode in the game. There was nothing to get you prepared for what the gameplay mechanics are like or how they're going to be activated. They just basically said, "Here's the demo. Here's how you play. Go. How do I throw a punch? Good luck." Oh, okay.
Mm.
But the guy on YouTube, thank God for him because he actually gave me some interesting advice on how to use some of the attacks and stuff, and taught me how to play the game more because I was still when I was playing the demo, I was like, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I knock a guy into the next part of the stage? But I got my answers from there.
Yeah. Well, one thing I really hated about this demo, though, that it's not necessarily going to bother me in the game, but I just think it's completely useless and unnecessary. I don't like the whole clashing feature where the two superheroes clash and you have to bet a certain amount of your power to see who wins the clashing. Like, I just see it as completely pointless. I don't even see the benefits of winning that at all because it didn't really add anything to my game.
Okay, I can tell you what it does because I've used it several times. The clash system or the wager system is where if you like press like forward meter burn button, the characters will like be put in a stance, they would insult each other and they clash with each other. And depending on how much meter you have, how much you spend on it, depends if you win the system. Now the person who starts the wager, if he or she wins, they get some health back, and it depends on how much they bet over the opponent. If they manage to like get like 1 bar of health more, they get like I think 15% or 25%. But if they would like to get full meter and they get less, they get like over I think like 50%. I'm not entirely sure, but if the person who started the clash, if he loses, if the opponent bets more, then they lose health. Um, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
But if they bet the same, it's a draw. Nobody gets anything in benefit. But that's what it does.
I noticed it said 15 health or something. I didn't notice any significant differences when they won because it would say 15% health and like nothing would happen to their meter. Maybe it was just my demo, but and I just didn't see the benefit of winning those at all.
I see the benefit
So I just
of
willing
winning
to
them.
lose.
I see the benefit of winning them if they're wagering against me, because you think you're going to get some health back? I don't think so, asshole. You're going to lose some health. I'm going to take
Yeah,
your
my
ass
one
down.
problem. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go
Yeah,
on.
I was gonna say, well, my problem with the gameplay was now, like me, like I said, I've been playing Mortal Kombat even to this day. Ever since it came out, I go to Mortal Kombat tournaments. I play in there, and just hopping on Injustice. Don't play. If you play Mortal Kombat, don't just hop on Injustice think it's gonna play the same. It's not. It's because the way it plays is very different, and to connect like special like punch and kicks with special moves are and they're not difficult. It just takes practice, practice to get the timing right. Because I was playing with Wonder Woman, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm just gonna be able to pull out combos like easy. I mean, I play Mortal Kombat. It's just another Run Studio game. No, no, no. It took me at least like an hour to finally get the timing right. So, so that's my only complaint about the game. That it will take a little bit getting used to, and the whole environment interactions. It's a good touch, but I guess what I want to know is that would there be an option where you can turn that off? But like you mentioned earlier about how you can pick up like different environments in the stage and use that as weapons, but like it takes forever for it to pick up. So I don't think how would that really be beneficial like in the heat of a moment fight, especially in a tournament. So I don't think that real high level tournament players will be using the environments at all. So I guess I'm trying to figure out where they have an option where you can turn that off. But yeah, but besides that, the gameplay is very solid, and I can see myself going to tournaments playing this game.
I did hear somewhere along the lines that the environmental hazards can be turned off, but personally, if I ever do go to tournaments and see injustice matches, I do want them turned on because I think they'll make the matches a little more interesting to watch if the opponents know how to use them properly.
Yeah, I really like the environmental hazards. It just made you feel like a superhero. It kind of separated it from Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat. It made it its own thing. It gave it a little personality.
All right. Let's see. What else I put on the. All right. One gripe I have, it's really not about the game. It's mostly about the same thing I had with NetherRealm Studios. It's the DLC and the whole spreading of it.
Uh,
I don't like these pre-order bonuses, and I don't like how they're all separated. I'd rather just have all the DLCs available in one spot, particular spot. They may eventually be released um, for everyone else. They don't stay exclusive because Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat's DLCs they were like this, but eventually you could buy them all for like $5, which I did. But yeah, like GameStop has the Red Sun pack, has which has the Red Sun costumes of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Solomon Grundy, as well as 20 Starlab missions. I think Walmart has the Arkham City pack, which gives you Arkham City skins of Catwoman, Batman, and Joker.
Hmm.
Um,
like Lanterns DLC.
yeah, there's also the new 52 packs if you like put more money in for the collector's editions.
No,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, no, thank you. It's the only time you see pantsless Wonder Woman so far. Um, I forgot where the rest of the other costumes are. Like I said, I mentioned that the iOS game. There's apparently some alternate costumes like New 52 Green Lantern, and I heard Nightfall Bane is going to be in there for. But hopefully those eventually get released just for purchase. And for the Injustice Battle Arena tournament, you get the TV show Arrow DLC skin for the character Green Arrow, complete with the TV show's voice actor too. Which I thought that was a pretty awesome costume, and not to brag, but I have it.
Mm,
I posted a vote. I voted for this week on the Batman versus Superman match, and apparently you just have to be first 5,000. during a round. I'm like, oh, okay. Psh.
Excuse me.
But it's really not really the game's
It gets
problem.
annoying.
It's the marketing thing, and it just annoys me. It's not that I don't hate the games. Sometimes I just really hate the marketing behind them. But hopefully, crossing my fingers that all this stuff eventually becomes available in the near future.
Yeah, me too. Like, I like just like you. I like all my DLC to be in one spot available. Like I want all those DLC. I want the Arkham City. I want the Black Lantern. I want the Red Sun.
Oh yeah,
I want
there was the Blackest Night DLC too.
yeah. Man, like, seriously, they got this DLC all spread all over the place, man.
Yeah.
But
Um. Any thoughts, Multifier, agreeing or disagreeing?
On the DLC and the spreading of it,
Yeah.
I think it's annoying, but I'm looking forward to them just releasing it to buy at a later date, since that's always what they do. So I'm just gonna hold out. I am annoyed that I'm gonna have to wait, and it's hard to like look at all these different things and picking and choosing which one you actually want to do and where you want to wait for your midnight release and all that crap. But I
Well,
don't know, it's just one of those things.
I personally want to get my hands on. Well, I pre-ordered the Red Sun DLC pack at GameStop because I know a lot of people hate that store, but I really don't hate it as everyone else does. It's really
yeah.
the first place I go to when it comes to finding video games, period. But
Mm.
other than that, when they mentioned the extra 20 Star Labs missions, I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. That's more incentive to actually get those costumes. And Kami Superman actually looks pretty cool. I
Hmm.
kind of like the darker design with the sickle and hammer costume. I thought he looked pretty. I thought that suit made him look like a badass.
Yeah, I'm liking the Wonder Woman Red Sun costume too. Also, I'm liking the Black Lantern core suits
Yeah,
too.
the Black Lantern Batman one. Who? So those are my thoughts about the game, the demo, the story. Now to do the character rundown list, which I'm reading off of the Injustice Gods Among Us Wikia. Um, all these characters have been confirmed, but there's two that haven't been flat out revealed in the trailer anything, but there was some evidence giving away that they have been confirmed. These are all the characters that are available now, not the ones, not the future DLC ones. Um, Speaking of which, I may eventually get the seasons pass in the future. Not only does it come with the more skins, the Flashpoint ones, but just like Mortal Kombat Season Pass, 4 DLC characters for the price of 3. Um, don't want to get A1's hopes up, but I think Lobo's one of them.
I hope so too, man. They need to stop teasing, man. Just reveal them, okay? I mean, we all wanted Lobo.
Like,
Just give
I
it.
think
Please.
Ed Boon gave it away on his Twitter somewhere, but at the
Well,
at the end of the month, something was supposed to be revealed about Lobo, and I see him
he
being a highly demanded character. And NetherRealm does listen to its fans when it comes to like certain requests and stuff.
Yeah, he did this with Rain, where everyone wanted Rain and they begged for him and stuff, and he just was like, I don't know, guys, I don't know, and he kept teasing announcements, and a lot of the times he'll do multiple announcements like these, and one of them is sure to be Lobo, because that's like the exact same thing that happened with Rain. What I don't understand is where this Lobo fan club is coming from. Not that he's not an awesome character, but I didn't know he had such a huge fan base.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I've only seen him a couple times in both Superman, um, Justice League, as well as Young Justice Invasion. But I don't know where this Lobo fan base is coming from. People,
Kind of felt the same about Rain. Like I didn't know people liked Rain so much.
it's just that he somehow is being often compared to Deadpool too. So
Huh.
probably because they're like dark, probably because his series is supposed to be dark comedy or something like that. That's as far as I could see it going.
Maybe NetherRealms just sends out like little like scouts and
Well,
spies to
Lance
like
was like one of the
help the
first
crowd.
people. Lance to me was one of the first people who said, "Man, I want to see Lobo in this game."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like because I mean, okay, you're making a DC fighting game, right?
Right.
You have all the characters that you could put. I thought Lobo would be a good choice, and just like you, I was introduced to Lobo through the Superman animated series cartoon. When I saw him, like ever since then I saw him in that cartoon, like wow, Lobo was a pretty cool character, and that he made like I can't remember exactly. Yeah, I think he did make a cameo in one of the Teen Titans episodes, did he?
Not entirely sure.
But yeah, like ever since then, yeah, they put Lobo in this game, and I was just kind of, just talking. Then they were actually talking about, hey, Lobo may be in the game. Like, oh, okay, that's a pleasant surprise.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm also kind of looking forward to Lobo. I hope he does eventually make it. But now for the actual characters that have been confirmed, and they are listed from A to Z, or in this case A to W. 24
Mm.
characters, as mentioned in an interview, that there were going to be that much because they said that that would be the sweet spot. And I do think a 24 a character roster sometime around the mid 20s is a pretty sweet spot. Um, this is a lot for first game in a supposedly a franchise, but then again, they're working with pre-existing material, so I thought that would be possible. First one on
Yeah.
the list. This is one that Multifire and I are probably going to have a lot of fun talking about. Aquaman.
Yes.
I believe I made a pre-existing thoughts of Injustice before in the past, and I did make some character requests, and Aquaman was one of them because for years in the mainstream, Aquaman was considered a fucking joke of a character, completely misunderstood. Truth be told, I have seen Aquaman in some other parts of the media. I've seen him in Batman Brave and the Bold, and I really like him there. And I'm just thinking, they need to make Aquaman a badass. And everyone who has read comic books told me he's a pretty awesome badass. So you know what? Let's see this. Let's see what happens. And then later, Injustice not only announced Aquaman, they gave him a pretty badass storyline trailer with Aquaman voiced by Phil Lamar, of Mad TV fame, as well as a bunch of other voice actors, including John Stewart, Green Lantern from Justice League. He voices him, and I believe he voiced him in the past during Young Justice. Gave out this really awesome trailer explaining his situation, the story, and he's like, "I am the king of Atlantis. I answer to no one." And they showed
Uh,
off his gameplay. They showed off his finish. I'm like, dude, yes. And they even the Injustice staff said it was their mission to make sure Aquaman becomes a badass. But Multify, your thoughts?
I like the fact they're making him into a badass. I like the fact they're bringing him in. I've always liked Aquaman. I didn't know people hated Aquaman until I was introduced to the internet, actually.
Back then, there
yeah,
wasn't an
his
internet to tell
role,
you otherwise.
yeah, his role in the Super Friends cartoon
Yeah,
didn't really
people
do too much
still
for the.
latch on to that.
Yeah, but he's fantastic. I mean, okay, most of the Earth is water, and he's pretty much the lord of that. So I fail to see why this is a bad superpower, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm really excited to see him in there. I'm really excited to see the King of Atlantis kicking ass, taking names. I'm curious to see if they give him an alternate costume with a hook.
I know they gave him a Flashpoint alternate costume, but it would be cool to see his Justice League design because I actually liked it. A lot of people. I remember X-Play making fun of that design. I was like, "Fuck you!" That
He
cast,
was
the design with the long hair and the hook, he looked pretty awesome.
he looked like a
Yeah, nice.
badass.
Yeah. All right, Lance, anything to say about Aquaman, or did we fill in uh, everything we need?
Yeah, pretty much you already, both you and Multiplier have pretty much said of everything I wanted to say about Aquaman. I'm glad he's in, and I'm glad they're making him a badass again. And even opened up some things I didn't even knew about Aquaman that he can actually control. Well, not only can he communicate, but he also controls them as well too.
Yeah. Okay. The next character, they by the time this video was recorded, they haven't outright said it, but they've been hinting at it several times, and they actually gave it away in one of the Star Labs videos. But Ares from Wonder Woman's series, the God of War.
Mm.
Um, I don't know shit about Wonder Woman. Well, actually, I know a little things about Wonder Woman. That's the thing. I don't know as much as I know about about Batman and Superman. They have yet to give her her own TV series. There was this one Wonder Woman anime movie I haven't seen. They haven't made a Wonder Woman live action movie yet. I mean, they made a Green Lantern and a Jonah Hex one before they made a Wonder Woman one. Um, but Ares is the god of war. I know that much.
Yeah.
Um, he did appear in the Injustice comic, and I can understand why he would appear in this game's storyline. Since this is supposedly a world through strict order, there is no worldwide conflicts, and
Mm.
Ares, the god of war himself, beats off to war. He thrives on that shit, you know. And if there are no conflicts like this again, he's gonna be then what use of he'll be. You know, I'm pretty sure he may either take a neutral stance on this, but he also might be siding with Batman or something to just to overthrow the regime, so things can get back to the way they used to be.
Yeah, I read some of Wonder Woman's comic way back when I was reading a whole ton of DC comics. Was just spending like, I used to spend like $20 minimum a week on comic books.
Damn,
Did that for like a year.
damn.
Um, so I'd just spend hundreds of dollars on comic books every month. And I read some Wonder Woman. I remember Ares being in it. I think she fought him for a little bit. It was like a Wonder Woman reboot. This happened before the New 52, and everyone was excited for it. Now let's see what they do with Wonder Woman. They're giving her a new costume and all this other stuff, and they're really giving her own personality. Cause they reinvent Wonder Woman all the time. She's like the female version of Superman. Just like no one finds her interesting, yet remains popular. And I just remember the comic book just being boring as hell, and I hate Wonder Woman, so. Um, I am excited for Ares, um, but I just want to go on that tangent about how Wonder Woman really isn't that great of a character,
All right.
I guess.
Any thoughts, Lance?
I don't have too much to say. I didn't know. I don't know anything about Ares in the
Well,
Wonder Woman comic.
I'm seeing the poster artwork from the game, and he looks like a badass. He's like all black, dark gray, red eyes. He looks like something out of an he definitely looks like a Daedra out of an Elder Scrolls game. So he looks pretty cool, and you know he might be fun to play as, or he might be the final boss. I don't fucking know, man. He could be so powerful that he could be a final boss. Not entirely sure. Okay,
I'm gonna check it out then.
next character, Bane.
Yes.
I did not like Dark Knight Rises, but I do like the character Bane. I definitely liked him in Batman the Animated Series. Um, he was a dumb Frankenstein monster in Batman Robin, which is weird because his costume design looks more similar to that. But he was a pretty awesome character. And he's like the closest person to really fuck up Batman. I mean, he broke his back, and he even
Yeah.
has that as his finisher. Like he does a series of grapple combos, and he actually ends with the Batbreaker move. So,
Oh, awesome.
so it's definitely interesting to see him in the game. Not much to say. He's a badass. I think he might be a grappler character. So I may since I'm starting to like grappler characters in fighting games more and more. So I may not check out him. So your thoughts, Multifire?
I'm definitely super excited for Bane. Also, I did love his super move, as you already mentioned. I just love the character in general, so I'm glad he's in here. And they really, he just looks awesome. I don't really have anything extra to add.
And Lance, anything you want to add, or
No, man, that's y'all two pretty much got it.
all right? Next character, Batman. Obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad he's voiced by Kevin Conroy again. Did not expect him to actually return to play. I did not expect that they're pulling off different voice actors who have experience voicing these characters before in the past. Um, because in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, they had their own particular cast, and some of the voice acting was hit and miss. And I thought Batman's voice in that game was a miss. Um,
Hmm.
Mm.
but when and to be honest, with his new costume design, I was a little skeptic. I mean, I don't have any issues of him wearing armor. His costume actually I really like. It's just that the cowl itself screams Christian Bale Batman, and I thought he was going to talk like Christian Bale. But then when I've heard Kevin Conroy voicing the character and everything, I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to like this. What else can I say about Batman? I like him. Who doesn't?
I
His,
miss the pure white eyes. I wish they'd have a
yeah.
special move with those
Um,
their costume.
he originally had a different finisher in the game, but it kind of sucked. Something about he like hanged the enemy up and just drop kicked them. Uh, Not many people liked that finisher. They thought it was kind of lame. So they replaced it to where he tases the enemy in the neck, knees him in the face, throws a batarang at them, and hits him with the Batmobile.
Which is
Way better.
awesome.
Way better.
It's very similar to Arkham Asylum.
Anything else you guys want to add?
No,
Nothing.
Yeah, well, and he was one of the characters in the demo, and he was really fun to play as. All right, next character, Black Adam, enemy of Captain Marvel. Oh, I'm sorry, Shazam. I hate New 52. I hate copyright laws too. There's such BS. Oh, you can't be called Captain Marvel. Change your name to Shazam. But that's the name of the wizard. And if he keeps calling himself Shazam, he's just gonna constantly. Uh, anyway, I have seen this. There's this show on Netflix. It's called Batman Shazam: Return of Black Adam. Well, what it is actually is just a montage of several DC animated shorts. It's just the it's just the one I mentioned of Captain Marvel and Superman versus Black Adam. It's the very first one. Um, Not much can be said about him. He was once granted the powers of the wizard, and he became corrupt. And I think he got like chucked away in some distant part of the galaxy for 5,000 years or something. Um, Basically just like an evil version of Shazam. Um, I'm glad Shazam's getting some representation by introducing his villain in the series. So looking forward to that. Your thoughts, you two?
Well, I'm not really. I would like to say some stuff. I really am. I'm not trying to come off as like, man, I'm not going to say anything this whole entire panel. It's that I really didn't know anything about Black Adam or Captain Marvel, aka Shazam. So I really can't say anything right now. But yeah, he looks legit though, man. I actually like him.
Yeah,
Some
he
trailers.
does look like a badass. I also saw the Brave and the Bold episode. That was also pretty fun to watch. Multifire, did you know anything more about Black Adam? Anything we're missing?
I don't know much about Black Adam or Shazam, but I am glad Shazam is in the game because I'm hoping to do the whole Shazam versus Superman fight and relive the animated series version of that.
Yes.
That was an awesome fight.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, I don't really know much about it. I don't know if I've seen Black Adam anywhere other than like DC Universe Online back when I played that.
All right. Now for the next character, Catwoman. Uh, didn't expect her to be in this game, but saw some gameplay of her, and the way she like claws up enemies reminds me of Freddy Krueger. I believe she's being voiced by her voice actors from Arkham City. Her costume design is it's all right. I wish she would put the goggles over her head though.
I don't.
I think she also has like steel claw boots. That was something you
Oh
pointed
yeah,
to,
yeah, still
Mike.
claw boots and the claws,
Yeah,
gauntlets.
maybe she'll climb. Maybe it's good for climbing walls, or whatever. But okay, Catwoman. We definitely do need more female characters in this game, or just a good amount. So all for representation. Um, Anything else you two want to add?
Just like you, I was actually surprised that they put Catwoman in the game. This is another thing I wanted to comment too. I love all the redesigns they did for the costumes in this game. How I noticed that the NetherRealm Studios crew, the artists, they are very they love armor apparently because they make some of the best armor designs I've seen in games.
I think
They did Mortal
Multifire may
Kombat.
disagree with you when it came to those designs. Some of them I was okay with.
I thought Catwoman's armor costume in this game looks awesome.
Yeah. A lot of people have been very critical of the costume designs of this game. Um, yeah. Multifire, you said you were a little iffy about them.
I didn't like the costume designs in this game. They're interesting, yeah, but I'd prefer just like the cloth superhero old-fashioned type. I'm a very golden and silver age type of guy, and I like those types of costumes. But those are probably going to come in costume pack. I'm really excited for Catwoman. She looks a lot of fun. I actually do prefer the goggles over her eyes because that's the way she wears them in the old comics before the new 52 anyway. So, um, in her Arkham City costume, does she have the goggles on top of her head though?
Yeah, I think she's designed almost exactly how she was in the video game Arkham City.
Okay, so we're getting both. So at least there's that.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Okay. Next. Wait. You talked about the costumes, but did you want to add anything else for Catwoman?
No, but she look, her gameplay looks actually pretty interesting. From what I can see, she like the quick character, so I guess she's gonna be very combo
Mm-hmm.
list, very combo oriented character. So I may pick her up as well.
Next character, the so far the only black guy in the game. Cyborg representing the Teen Titans. Well, actually, I think he's part of the Justice League now, but he's mostly well known as a member of the Teen Titans.
Hmm.
Um, okay, that's definitely kind of sort of going outside of the box. Teen Titans don't really get a whole lot of representation other than the cartoon series, which got canceled. Now it's coming back as a crappy chibi. That's another rant for another day. Um, but
Hmm.
Cyborg, um, glad he's in the game, and they even got his voice actor from the Teen Titans cartoon. I believe the actor's name is Kerry Payton, and they even got his Booyah taunt in there.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Um, from what I've seen, he kind of reminds me of Nathan Spencer from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He has a grappling hook that he's been using, or at least he was using it a few times in in his match against Aquaman, the Battle Arena tournament. But that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad Cyborg's in the game, and I dig his design in here.
Yeah, yeah, just like you, I was actually surprised they actually put Cyborg in there. I'm like, whoa, Cyborg? Okay, that's yeah, like, that really, was kind of made me happy because I was kind of worried that the whole entire cast of Injustice was going to be, it was going to be nothing but like Batman and Superman characters. But
Oh
now
yeah, I was
but
nervous
they,
about that
they
too.
kind of going out, out of those two series and delving more into the other series. So I'm glad they're doing that. So I'm glad the Superman Cyborg's in this game.
Any thoughts, Multifire?
I'm a big Titans fan. I'm glad that they're bringing Cyborg in here. Think he's an excellent character. I loved him in the comic books. I read the Titans comic books just all the time. It was one of my favorite comic books. It always competed with Green Lantern Corps. So it's good to see some Titans in this game for sure. And I'm gonna probably play him a whole lot.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Next character. Ooh, this one I'm definitely excited for. Deathstroke the Terminator, or just simply known as Deathstroke, enemy of the Teen Titans for a while. Merc, for those who are familiar with Deadpool, he's actually a parody of this particular character. My introduction through him was through the Teen Titans cartoon, but he was actually just known as Slade. When I saw Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, it's like, oh, we're gonna put some villains in this game. We're gonna put Deathstroke the Terminator in here. I'm like, who the fuck is Deathstroke the Terminator? So I look him up. And I'm like, Deathstroke the Terminator, aka Slade Wilson. I'm looking at his armor. It's like, man, he kind of actually looks familiar. His character design did not look anything like he did in the Teen Titans cartoon. Well, there are a lot of similarities, but they made some big changes with his design in Teen Titans. And all of a sudden, I like go, oh, it's
Then you realize,
Slade. Yeah, that's
then after further reading, you realize they really toned down his character for
oh yeah.
Teen Titans.
Yeah.
He's just a sinister, manipulative villain. Here, he's a straight up gun-toting mercenary assassin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about him. Guy who uses both guns and swords. I saw a little bit of his finisher where he stabs the sword through the enemy, and just freaking unloads with them with Uzis. And you know what the funniest thing is about this character? And by the way, again, armor designs actually make sense with him. You know, he probably gets hit with a lot of gunfire from time to time. But you know what the funny thing is about that guy? Um, he's being voiced by Nolan North.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, Deadpool's voice actor.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. With
And Uncharted's voice actor, right?
yeah,
Or is
Nathan
that?
Nathan Drake's voice actor.
Yeah, that's that's
I think
odd.
that's North, but that's what I've been hearing from time to time. I could be wrong, but I think that's Nolan North's voice actor. I'm not entirely sure. I got the,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But I'll let you know right now, Deathstroke is one of the top three people I am gonna play as soon as this game comes out.
hmm.
That and it also reminds me a lot of Taskmaster.
Yeah, that too. Taskmaster, that was a character like not many people heard of until Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, and he was a pretty fun character.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah. All right, next character. Ooh, this guy's a legend. Doomsday. What can you say about him? Well, his resume said he almost killed Superman. I wish I said he did kill
Almost.
Superman, but no, he just punched him so hard he went into a coma. Um, Definitely fought him several times. His armor buffer character trait is kind of annoying. Unless, of course, you're playing as him, you're probably gonna fucking use that a lot and it'll be helpful. But he was definitely confirmed through some leaks already. But definitely am looking forward to this guy. For those who don't know who Deathstroke is, he was not Doomsday. He was the man that did, in fact, almost kill Superman in the Death of Superman comics. He's got a pretty nasty reputation as being just a mindless. He's basically the Hulk, as that guy,
Well,
as the writer of Chronicle says. He's just he's like the Hulk, but he's great. Wait, there's already a great version of the Hulk. Well, fuck it, he's just the Hulk
oh.
with protruding bones and stuff. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna play as him, but I'm glad they put him in this game.
Is he seriously going to be playable though, or is he just going to be like what Mortal Kombat did, where he's in the game and you can clearly play him, but he's not playable except in challenges?
Yeah, that's something I'm wondering myself. Like, is he gonna be a playable character? They haven't flat out said he's the final boss, and they make it look like, and he does look like like I have played as Shao Kahn and Kentaro and Goro through the challenge towers in both the PS Vita and the console versions of Mortal Kombat. You can clearly tell these characters like patterns have kind of been nerfed. Like for one thing, none of those characters can jump. But
Mhm.
Yeah,
Doomsday was hopping around in
yeah.
footage I've seen. He might be a playable character, but
I hope he is, and if he's that much of a problem, people can just ban him from tournaments. I like
yeah.
fighting characters that are a little overpowered, not too much like Skullgirl's final boss, because but just a little bit overpowered.
Um, your thoughts, Lance?
No, not really. I don't imagine myself playing as Doomsday. Like you say, he's very annoying. His character trait specials annoying as crap. I do love his super move, which I was trying
Yeah,
to tell everyone. Look it up. I'm not telling you what it's gonna be. Just
it's
look it up.
it looks like it hurts.
Yes.
All right,
But yeah, that's all I have to say about Doomsday though. But I am excited he's in the game now.
all right. Next character, the Flash.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I think this one's Barry Allen. I didn't know there was more than one Flash, but I think this one's I think Flash in the game was a no-brainer for me. He does have a fan base. Um, it's pretty cool powers. I've seen some of his gameplay. Apparently, he has an effect where he can actually slow down time all over around him, make him look a little faster, and you can like combo into several moves and stuff a lot more effectively. So if you're like fighting Flash, you may have yourself a workout. But yeah, again, uh, yeah, Flash, pretty obvious one. Now, when I see his intro, when he does his little pre-fight intro where he goes, "Catch me if you can," I think he's doing the same animations as Johnny Cage. Well, not the punching kitchen part, but the way he like moves his arms. He's like, "Catch me if you can."
Yeah,
It looks very
yeah, I think
similar
you're
to Johnny
right.
Cage when he goes, "I make this look easy." I'm like, really?
Well, look,
I I do
It's
like,
kind of the same character.
yeah.
but something
Actually,
like Flash, I thought was, oh,
Johnny
I'm sorry,
Cage versus Booster Gold would have been awesome.
Oh
Did
yeah.
not know about him.
the Battle of Egos.
Yes, but the Flash, I do like his victory animation where he just like does a tornado, spins the guy up, and then uppercuts him out of the way. But yeah, Flash is a no-brainer. Just because he's a Justice Leaguer and he has gotten a lot of time on the Justice League cartoon itself and stuff. You guys got anything to add?
uh, no, not really. Not really.
Multifire?
He's I'm glad he's in the game. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be playing him a whole lot. I've always thought super speed really wasn't that interesting of a power, personally.
Eh, I don't know. I would like the Kavia to go in anywhere I want without paying gas money.
Yeah.
That shit's me.
That would be pretty nice. Would save a lot of money.
Yeah. Next character, Green Arrow. Now this guy's getting a shitload of notoriety. He has made some appearances in Justice League Unlimited. He has his own DC short in those shorts I've mentioned before. From the Batman Shazam video. Uh, what else? Kind of looks like Robin Hood. From what I've been told,
Has his own CW show.
yeah, he has his own WB animated live action series, which is one of the DLC costumes based off of. He's getting well known. He definitely made a shitload of appearances in Batman: The Brave and the Bold. Oh, whew. He does look like
His
his character does look pretty awesome.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, his gameplay, he made like his entire gameplay was pretty interesting. It reminds me a lot. Trying to say, because I want to mention Taskmaster again because I do main Taskmaster in Marvel 3, and his gameplay looks very similar to that. And I'm just gonna use Green Arrow just because of that. Well, two reasons. One, he looks cool, and I thought he was already I thought he was always a pretty interesting uh, character, but and also he plays like Taskmaster. So
Now,
I'm picking
wait,
it.
you've played Ultimate UMVC 3. Wouldn't he be more comparable to Hawkeye?
Well, that too.
Yeah, okay, I was about to say. Your thoughts, Multi?
I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but
Hey, because I
sometimes
remember.
when you change costumes, you also change voice actors.
Well, for just that particular costume, yeah. I don't think they
Yeah,
brought
which is pretty cool.
I don't think they brought Mark Hamill back to voice the Arkham City Joker, which would have been
He's
cool.
he's completely retired. I even read something that said if he's coming back in the prequel to the Rocksteady game, he's still not going to voice act Joker. He's like super serious about it now.
So you heard about the Arkham Origins announcement too.
I wasn't too excited about it. I guess
Uh,
it's another vlog though.
yeah, we still got ways before that game's released, but yeah, that I thought that was a really neat touch, and honestly, that opens the door for a lot of potential, which I'll get to later when we start listing off the other set of characters. But Green Arrow, he may be one of the characters who will be most used because his character trait is him using the arrows. So he can just projectiles, and he's got several different projectiles. He's got a freeze arrow and a stun arrow of some sort, and a net arrow, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too.
yeah.
Just like Hawkeye.
So I'm looking forward to him a little bit. And like I said, that one issue from, well, I don't know if I said this before, but I did like that one issue between him and Harley Quinn in the Injustice comic.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
fantastic.
Next character. This one's also a no-brainer. Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Um, I always liked the Green Lantern powers. I never read the comics, and I've seen a little bit of the CG animated series, but I always like the power of just shooting out your ring, and all of a sudden it comes up with a mystical energy based on your imagination. It's like, oh man, I'm just gonna, you know, do a Kenshu. I'm just gonna summon a bunch of fists out of my ring. Boom, you're already dead, or something like that.
Hokuto Shinken.
And then when I like looked up one person's YouTube video on how to get into the Green Lantern comics, he started listing off other lantern colors I did not know existed. I thought it was just green and yellow, but no, there's blue, red, black, and white. I'm like, holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
But back to Green Lantern himself. Definitely like his finisher. It was pretty awesome. Um, don't know if I'm going to be playing as him a lot. He was a lot of fun to play as in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Um, and again, no, like the Flash, no brainer, dude. He,
Yep, has to be in there.
all right, but Multifire, you you can add more to this. You're a huge Green Lantern fan, so
Well, I'm a huge Green Lantern Corps fan. It's really cool to see him in this. I wonder if they're going to give him some alternate costumes with some alternate ring colors. It'd be cool to have to use the different colors. And yeah, it's just great to see him in here. I'm hoping for maybe his alternate costumes to be different Green Lanterns. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that really awesome.
that would be awesome to see to see Kyle Rayner as an alternate.
Oh yeah, I would love
What
that. Kyle Rayner is one of my favorites.
I would want them to make him a special taunt. It's just him saying all these different rings. He just pull all these different rings out of his pocket. Like I'm so fucking crazy.
Oh god, dude, that pic of the pic of Green Lantern. Oh man, that comic book cover of him going insane with all those rings on his fingers, man. That's just the silliest thing to look at. Oh
They
man,
should totally just make new skins of the lanterns and just have a mission where you're just like killing all the lanterns and more like the special mission tower.
man, you're mentioning like one of the Green Lantern's darkest moments for comic book fans right there when he went insane and became Parallax. They actually had to explain, well, he was possessed by a space bug. So, yeah. But, yeah, looking forward to Green Lantern. His costume actually it does have vibes of the movie.
It does. It's more like
It has that green, yeah, that really bright green outline in some of its
you get
appearance.
that muscle
Yeah.
tissue, muscle tissue
Yeah.
texture to it.
All right, next character. Harley Quinn. One of the first characters to be confirmed. Fun little fact, in Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, we were supposed to get some DLC for it, and the DLC was going to be that Quan Chi will be a playable character as well as Harley Quinn. But since that game basically killed midway, that came to be. But Harley Quinn was the very one of the very first characters to be announced for Injustice, maybe as an apology. But there's just too many fans of Harley Quinn. I mean, I freaking love Harley Quinn. Who the hell doesn't? And I
Harley Quinn's so cool.
definitely like her story trailer where she makes herself look more to be a strong, independent woman who don't need no Joker in her life. Uh, she's being voiced by Tara Strong from Arkham City again. Um, definitely like her costume, both of her costumes in the game, and she's probably gonna be one of the characters I'll main. So yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
same here. I'll definitely probably play her a whole lot. I'm really excited for her. I'm a big fan of Harley Quinn. One of the biggest problems with the new 52 is they canceled Sirens, in which included storyline with Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman, all living under one roof and being friends for like and solving all these mysteries and fighting crime. It was super good comic. Everyone go out and read that and don't read anything past the new 52 because if you do, you'll just become really, really sad. And
I'm gonna look up
so I
that
have to say,
comic right now because it sounds like something I would be interested in. Because I don't
oh,
mind.
it's so good.
I really don't. I really don't mind the idea of superheroes doing slice of life things if it's entertaining at the very least.
Even the filler episodes of the comic book were a lot of fun. They had this one comic book where they were basically just trying to investigate who was killing all the neighborhood's dogs, and they're just trying to be like Harley Quinn's hyenas.
Damn.
And they were like, "Oh shit, we better cover this up."
um, Lance, your thoughts on Harley?
uh, Not well, there's not much I can say about her, but I'm actually glad that her role in the game is, not the, what we all thought she was gonna be like, Joker's sidekick. No, she's actually gonna be her own character, and she's kind of denouncing the Joker.
Yeah, well, things are
And,
subject to change though, but it depends on the plot and character development. But so far, it's looking like that, which is interesting.
mhm.
Yeah. All right, next character, Hawk Girl. I got nothing to say about her. The only thing I know from that sorry, she was in. All I know is that she was in the Justice League cartoon, and she was a battle-hardened warrior who swung a mace around. That's all I know about her. Well,
No,
there's
she
probably.
killed Solomon
Yeah.
Grundy in that cartoon.
Oh yeah, that too. Well, okay, maybe it's just that I don't remember the show that well. I definitely do need to go back and watch Justice League on Netflix. She probably is a better character than I make her out to be, but like I said, they don't really make a whole lot of Hawkgirl stuff outside of the comic books. They really don't.
Yeah.
But it's cool that she's in the game. I'm down with that, and I do like her super move where she just like brings up the person like 50 feet in the air and just freaking maces them across the face.
I don't have much to say about Hawkgirl. I've read her comic books, but they're too weird to talk about. A lot of the plot lines of Hawkgirl and Hawkman are just fucking odd. So I don't know where to begin with that. But I'm glad she's in the game.
Lance.
No, there's not much I can really say about it. I didn't really never worry. I was never really interested in Hawkgirl, so there's nothing I can really say about her.
All right, next character, the Joker, voiced by Richard Epcar from Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, which I am all excited for. Um, definitely like his fighting style in the game. Like he has a blade in one hand, and he actually has some moves with a crowbar, which is definitely a nod to Death in the Family.
Yeah.
Um, I also like his post victory animation where he's like pouring gasoline all over the enemy. He's like, doody 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 doo, you're fired. Whoosh. Um, this costume looks pretty fucking sweet in this game too. Uh, the Joker was pretty obvious, and he's also like in the front cover of the game too, dead center. Well, to be fair, you kind of read the Injustice comic. You can see why everything is the way it is now in that universe. Spoiler alert, he did it. Um,
Joker behind it all.
sorry, he did help lead to the events of the situation in Justice right now. But I might play as him from time to time.
Yeah, he actually does look pretty interesting. Yeah, the fact they do include his crowbar and his combos, I thought his appearance looks pretty cool, and I freaking love the super too, where he doesn't even care. He just like he gets you on the ground. He like gets on top of you, pulls out this rocket launcher, and just points it at you point blank. Not just don't care and just fires it. I'm like,
Yeah. Um, Multifire, your thoughts?
I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see what they do with him. I'm excited for all the little comic book nods. Uh, Personally, Joker's not one of my favorite villains in the whole world, which I know is sacrilegious to say, but that's only because they've turned up the darkness to 11 recently, and he's just
The new
become
52?
unfun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Something about his face on Dead. Something about his face getting ripped off, and it was even
Um.
stapled to Deadshot at one point.
Well, yeah, Frankenstein captured him and chopped off his face, and then he restapled his face on. Then threatened to cut Harley Quinn's face off, but didn't. And spoiler alert, he kills Damien, and they're replacing Damien with some chick that's not even supposed to be in that timeline or universe. And he blinded Alfred. He poured acid in Alfred's eyes, and now Alfred is blind in the New 52. It's just a mess. It's just the worst comic book ever written.
Dang, Joker's been busy.
Damn. Well, for those who don't know who Damien is, he's supposedly the latest Robin, and I think he's getting replaced by a girl. It might be that chick from Dark Knight Returns or something.
It is,
Oh,
yeah.
well, shit. So you're saying Joker's no longer fun? Well, he was. I've heard from a lot of people that in the comics he was really fucking twisted. I even saw some of the things he did. Like he skinned a man alive just for giving Harley Quinn an odd look. So
I mean, he's done plenty of fucked up things. Don't get me wrong. It's just the whole like the amount of fucked up things he's done in such a tiny time has just overloaded the senses, and you're just like, I don't want to deal with this. I mean, a lot of the really fucked up things he did in the past had to do with Alan Moore writing, and I think you were the one that told me recently that Alan Moore actually says he regrets what he did with the Joker and Death in the Family and all that
no, no,
stuff.
no. I said he regretted what he did for the in the Killing Joke, for crippling Barbara Gordon or something like that.
And you know,
He thought he went a little too far there. From
he
what
did a
we've
lot of
heard.
things with that comic book.
And that's Alan Moore for you, dude. Well, next, next character again wasn't directly confirmed, but was leaked several times. Um, I don't know anything. Wow, man! If you actually see her character design right now, I'm gonna show it to you guys. Let's see.
Wait, who'd you say?
The next character is Killer Frost. Apparently she's an enemy of a superhero by the name of Firestorm. I don't know anything
I
about.
know I know who Killer Frost is and all that stuff.
Right. Well,
Only a little bit though.
again, she I don't know who the hell she is. Pretty damn obscure. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
You? You know a little more.
A little more, not a whole lot. I just know that she's been in. She was in a lot of Justice League episodes. She made a lot of cameos. That's pretty much all I know about her. I can't remember too much about her. I'm trying really hard because I remember seeing her and maybe even reading a comic book or two with her in it, but she was never. She's kind of a forgettable character, to tell you the truth. There's not really much interesting about her. I think they just wanted to do something subtle and lesser known by bringing her into the thing, and I don't mind her. It's going to give me a Sub-Zero character to be cheap with, so.
Well, Lance, I bet you have even less to say, so.
No, this is my first time actually hearing about it. I mean, I heard her name like a couple of times before, but yeah, I really don't have that much to say about Killer Frost.
Alright. Next character, Lex Luthor. Um, he kind of looks like Bruce Willis in this game.
Yeah, he kind of does. Yeah.
I believe he's voiced by his actor from Young Justice, if I'm not mistaken. Um, definitely like his armor in comparison to Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. It's bigger, probably has a lot more equipment. Definitely, it's all great. It's great and all, except there's one little problem. The one thing he should be really covering up about his fucking body
It's the
is
face.
his goddamn shiny ass bald head, which my God, what are you thinking? Not putting on a helmet or a little dome sphere or anything? No, no. Now everyone's gonna punch him right there in the. A sniper could take him out if he was a little more careful.
Yeah, because you want to turn that suit into your coffin, dude. Man,
What,
seriously, man. I think he just leaves it open so everyone can see his face because he wants to be noticed.
probably
but
knowing his ego.
but yeah, but that's the one thing I know about what a lot of villains who built these mech suits. You make this very elaborate, very um, indestructible mech suit, but you never make a helmet. What?
Exactly.
Yep.
It seemed like common sense to me. Like you would want to put on a helmet.
Okay. Well,
He's officially stupider than Mysterio, and that's saying a lot.
Mysterio had a helmet at least.
I know. Oh, well, even he has this move where he drops people on their head. It's his grab move, and I'm like, well, if you do that, if anyone did that to you, you'd just be dead. Your head would just splat over the weight of that stupid suit.
Yeah, he has an It's an Izuno drop, isn't it?
I don't know about that. I was talking about the one where he just picks you up over his head and just slams you down on it. That's
Like a suplex?
it's not a suplex. It just picks you up
Oh,
and
he picks
just
you up.
shoves you
I
down.
think that's an Azuna drop.
Oh, he
Does it look
he picks up in
similar?
the air.
Wait. Does it look similar to Ryu Hayabusa's move minus the spinning?
No,
Oh,
he doesn't throw you up in the air and the move I'm talking about. He just seriously just picks him up and shoves him into the ground like some sort of sword.
okay.
Shit.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he
Oh,
basically he just spikes him down the ground like a football. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, you're right. That thing looks super fucking heavy. His head would have been an omelet. But
Especially when you got Superman going around in alternate universes lobotomizing people with his heat vision. It's a good idea to wear a hat.
yeah, considering that Superman lobotomized Chester Black and Superman versus the Elites. Oops, spoiler. Go see the movie anyways. It's actually really good. Um, but other than that, I've always really liked Lex Luthor. Just on the grounds that he is just a normal businessman. His biggest enemy is a Kryptonian dude with superhuman strength and a bunch of other powers. And Lex just doesn't give a fuck. He would still insult him and stare directly into his face, man. He's just such a badass. I freaking like Lex Luthor, and he was always a very calm, collective villain at sometimes. Like he does let some things irk him, but he doesn't go completely apeshit whenever something that doesn't go his way. He's like, no matter. I always have a plan B or a plan C, whatever. I really like Lex Luthor, and I'm glad they did bring him in this game. And I love his victory animation. After he's done, he just gets on a phone call making business meetings and stuff. He's like, "Oh, and have someone pick up the suit. It needs a tune-up." It's awesome. So I'm glad he's in the game, and he was kind of heavily hinted to eventually be the game anyways from the teaser trailer.
You know, a good Lex moment would be that one moment from the Justice League cartoon where he possesses Flash's body. He's like, finally, I get to learn the secret identity of the Flash, and whips off the mask, and it's like, I have no idea who this is.
Damn. All right. Anything else you want to say, Lance?
No, I think you covered it pretty good, man.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, awesome. Next character, Nightwing.
Uh,
Um,
well,
I think when Nightwing was confirmed because Batman and Batman Harley Quinn were announced. That was that's when I got a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad Nightwing's in the game, but I was just hoping that the roster wouldn't be Batman oversaturated. Like I
Yeah,
said, I wanted to push for other DC characters I never even heard of before, like Killer Frost. So that made me a little nervous. That being said, uh, I always liked Dick Grayson as in his Nightwing persona. Definitely
yeah.
a lot more than as Robin. As Robin, he's okay, but as Nightwing, I always thought he was a lot better. His costume's way cooler for one thing. Um, he also had some leadership skills. I mean, he's one of the more prolific leaders of the Teen Titans. Love his fighting style. Electrical sticks or staff, depending on what button you press for the character trait. He's going to be a lot of fun to play as. I hope so.
hmm
Um, oh yeah, and there's only one good thing about New 52 regarding Dick Grayson. He
What's
hasn't
it?
been raped.
Uh,
That's true.
Apparently,
because the character wise, you ever messed
yeah.
him up?
No, not like raped as in they fucked up his character. No, I mean it in a
Yeah, he
literal
was literally
sense.
raped.
Dick Grayson
Uh,
got raped twice. I think he
dang.
got raped by Raven once, and he got raped by this one female superhero.
Yeah, I forget her name. It's Tigress
You're the
maybe or something like that.
You told me about that incident. You told me that was some fanfic writer who came up with this story.
Yeah, they hired a fan fiction writer, some really bad fan fiction writer, introduced this character. He was poisoned or in shock or something from her killing someone that he was trying to arrest, and just like was all on shock on the like top of some building somewhere, all like, oh my god, and then she just totally had sex with him, and he was trying to push her off, but he couldn't. It was almost like in the movie Super during that rape scene where
Oh
he
yeah,
wasn't in the right mental state to fight it.
when Ellen Page raped Rainn Wilson. Oh yeah, that was a fucked up scene. My
Yeah,
God.
and no one wanted that scene to happen, but it happened. And the strange thing is, by next issue, they just pretend like nothing happened.
Like it's
So,
almost been discontinued from the continuity. Like,
great job on dealing with things maturely, DC.
all right. Any thoughts, Lance?
Other than he's in the game. One of my other favorite heroes is Nightwing. And I was like his give him the stance change where his collar sticks into a staff. I thought it was pretty interesting. Yeah, hype for him. He's gonna be one of my other characters. I'm planning on playing this game too. Yeah, but that's all I have to say.
All right.
Doesn't his character also kind of looks like the dude from the old Batman and Robin movie, doesn't it?
Chris O'Donnell? No, that's what I thought.
Freaking me out.
That's what I thought Robin from Arkham City looked like to me.
Well, this guy kind of looks like Chris O'Donnell to me. I don't know, just with like a little more hair. But I really hope they don't blow this opportunity to give him a Robin alternate costume though, because that would be cool.
In theory, I could see that. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really pretty cool. Let's see. I don't see anything about. I was looking up to see who his voice actor was. All right, next character. This one was also something I did not expect, but I'm just as happy. Raven, another character from the Teen Titans. So technically, there are three characters in Teen Titans: Nightwing, Cyborg, and Raven.
Hmm.
Um, I did not expect it to be in the game because DC they 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 said that there were two categories for their fighters: power fighters like Superman and Wonder Woman and such, and gadget characters like Batman and Nightwing and such. Um, I was like, well, wait a minute. Well, there were more than just gadget users and power, and power guys in the realm. There's characters like Doctor Fate who dabble in mysticism and stuff. Like, are they going to be included? But then Raven, who I believe is falling into the gadget type, is confirmed. She's a sorceress. That much I know about her. Again, what stuff I know about her comes straight from the cartoon. Definitely, she was definitely my favorite character in that series because everything she says is just full of deadpan sarcasm. It's it's so great. It's so amazing. Uh, she's still voiced by Tara Strong from the cartoon show, except here she definitely sounds a lot darker, and I think they have modified her voice a little with speech effects, or that's what
Hmm.
Multiplier defended it with.
I'm pretty sure that unless Tara Strong is really good at echoing her voice
Yeah,
into being like a Satan.
I will amplify your pain.
So I think she's possessed by yeah.
Her finishing move even involves him. And I remember reading the Injustice comics, she made some background appearances, and she was red-skinned for some reason.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she might be Trigun possessed. Well, I am hoping that she has some mental stability or still a
A
superhero.
regular costume or something.
Yeah, or a superhero of some sort. I would definitely like to see more altered costumes of her, especially one based off her Teen Titans counterpart. If she happens to, if Tara Strike actually voice acts her in that way, that would be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, so I'm excited for Raven. Lance?
Just like you, I'm excited for another Teen Titan character made in this game, which kind of took me by surprise. Like, wow, they put in a lot of Teen Titans. Well, it's four. No, yeah, it's three Teen Titans. You got Nightwing, Cyborg, and Raven. Yeah, they really surprised me with the inclusion of Teen Titan characters. So yeah, and she actually looks pretty interesting. Her appearance is a lot more darker and than the cartoon. Although our special moves look freaking beast as hell. So yeah, so that's all I gotta say about Raven.
Yeah.
Yep. I super like Raven. One of my favorite Titans books circled around Raven. I forgot what it was called. It was called Fragile or something like that. But it's one of my favorite characters. And I know a girl who's a huge fan of Raven and actually cosplays as Raven. I'm trying to get her to buy this game solely based on Raven. See if it works out.
It should. I've seen people who are just willing enough to purchase something just because a certain individual is in it, which I have no arguments against. That means she'll get her favorite character plus some other great things about this game. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Boy, I swear to God, if this turns out to be a fighting game equivalent of Colonial Marines, I'm just kidding. If it does, man, that'll be terrible bad. But I'm pretty sure the game will do fine. I mean, they gave us the demo and
Yeah.
they've been advertising it like crazy. That's how you know if a game's doing well or not. You gotta pay attention to how they're advertising it. If they're advertising the new Walking Dead game and the only thing they could say is they got the voice actors from the TV show, that's when you have to go, oh shit, is that
Mhm.
really the best thing you can say about it?
Yeah, yeah. Have you actually watched the show? Uh,
I really
you know,
do not care about the show. I love the video game. I love the Telltale video game, but nah, the show is just I really do not have an interest in
I love the show. It's fantastic. Every moment.
it. All right, next character, who was once originally called Captain Marvel, but because of some BS with Marvel, the new 52 rebooted him, and now he is officially known as Shazam, which used to be the name of the wizard where he got his powers from. My first experience with Captain Marvel was from Justice League Unlimited during that big fight between him and Superman over the Lex Luthor politician debacle. Since then, I really, really like the character. I think the word Shazam itself sounds badass, yet really funny at the same time. Uh, um, I was really glad he was confirmed in Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. I'm glad he's in this game. He's like the only man-child character I know of who doesn't annoy me in any way whatsoever. He's actually a pretty awesome character. Um,
actually, like a little, like a teenager, but
yeah, Billy Batson. I think he's either like a little kid or a teenager. But but when he but when he calls upon the powers of Wizard, he looks almost as old as Superman, and he's granted a uh, few extra powers, super strength, flight, invincibility, but he can also like use some magic powers too. His costume in this game, I really like it. I like how he has a lightning bolt on his chest and actually has little like clouds and thunder all over it. The armor definitely works on him. The hood, though, I have questions about because it just screams Assassin's Creed to me. However, I have seen his alternate costume in the trailer where he trades a white one for a black one, and it just made him look a lot cooler.
mm.
Hmm.
Well, so just like some of the other characters, I really don't know much about Shazam. But he looks pretty interesting though. Yeah, but is that him and Superman got like a little rivalry going on between them?
Yeah, definitely had a rivalry, and that fight in Justice League Unlimited was fucking amazing, dude.
Oh,
They were they were leveling buildings and everything. It was amazing. It was awesome.
yeah. Speaking of that fight, I really hope he has a grapple move where he bear hugs people and yells Shazam.
And he gets him hit with lightning bolt. Yeah, I hope they brought that
Yeah.
back too. They had it in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Yeah, that was one of the best parts about that game was that attack.
I actually liked the entire Captain Marvel chapter in that game.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, because he fights Raiden. He finally gets some information on what the hell was going on, and then he fights like Baraka, Scorpion, and Shang Tsung in a little mini tournament. That was pretty
Yeah.
fucking amazing. But yeah, I might actually play as Shazam. He's probably going to be another main I'm going to use. Shazam, Harley, and Deathstroke are probably going to be the characters I'm going to play as. And Aquaman. Alright, so that's all we got to say about Shazam. Let's move on to definitely a more well known character Sinestro of the Yellow Lantern Corps, villain of Green Lantern. When you think of Green Lantern's enemies, Sinestro is usually the first one to pop in most people's. in most people's minds. Um, all I know is that he used to be a member of the Green Lantern Corps until something
Mm.
happened and he decided he became a villain. Um, glad he's in the game. I'm glad they put an extra character to represent Green Lantern. Um, he always looked like a very cunning and sinister villain. I mean, his name is Sinestro,
Sinestro.
which is probably a play on the word sinister. So
He's very calculated, and he does not like Kyle Rayner because Kyle Rayner is having sex with his daughter.
the ultimate revenge, I might add. If your mortal enemy is pissed at you, you have to fuck a loved one of theirs. Their mother, their sister, their daughter don't matter. That is the best way to get even with them.
I bet you when you try to talk to Sinestro, Sinestro say something cunning, then like Kai replies with, "Well, not as hard as my dick."
When
What?
I
I
fuck your
don't.
daughter. Oh,
But yeah, Sinestro, pretty interesting.
hmm.
Yeah, ruler of the Sinestro Corps. You can't go wrong with that. One of my favorite Sinestro moments in the comic books. I keep mentioning these comic book moments. I hope it's all right.
It's okay. It's it educates me on what's going on in the comic books or what happened in the comics.
There was this civil war in the Sinestro Corps where God, I forget his name, but he's like Mumbo or something like that. He's just this really huge looking guy, and he had like 10 yellow lantern rings on him, and he just was ruling all these planets with an iron fist, and his yellow lantern corps was taking over Sinestro's corps, and Sinestro actually dueled him for like ownership of the core and won because I think Sinestro had some sort of secret password or code word he said, and like all the rings on like Mumbo's hand just like fucking caused some sort of like backfire and just sent spikes all through his body, just like instantly killing him. And that's when I knew I liked Sinestro.
It's tough. All right. I think that's all we gotta say about Sinestro. Next character, Solomon Grundy, one of the first of the very well. I would say he's not completely lesser known, but when people have heard that Grundy was confirmed for the game, there was hope that there were going to be pushed for more obscure characters. Now Grundy himself used to be an enemy of the Green Lantern, Alan Scott, from what I've heard. Then he's like an enemy of Batman, and I think he's just a plain old Justice League villain now. Um, cool character. I definitely like some of his attacks. I love the fact that he's got like knives stuck in his back and he actually uses them. And in his finisher, he pulls a tombstone out of his stomach and just breaks it over their skull. And in his Red Sun costume, which by the way, I heard Solomon Grundy did not appear in the original Red Sun storyline, so they basically gave Grundy a what if costume, like what if he was a member of the Red Suns, and I'm down with that. I thought he looked pretty cool, and give Solomon Grundy some love, give him some of that extra, give him a push, give him some bonus content too. I'm all for it. And in that Red Sun costume, he actually has a sickle in his back instead of just a cleaver.
But I do want to ask though, I'm not too familiar with Solomon Grundy, but I have to ask. Now, like, is he like essentially a zombie, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty
and
much
it,
a
like
dead.
no explanation like how he came a zombie? He's just a zombie just cause.
I don't know
Hmm.
much about Grundy's origins.
I'm not really sure why he's a zombie either. It might have to do with the that poem that I can't remember.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
the poem itself is called Solomon Grundy. Born on the Monday, crescent on the Tuesday. Well, I forgot. Born on the Monday, crescent on the Tuesday. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
so.
Like he actually has a 7-day week thing. But he always repeats the first like 3 or 4 verses of that poem. In fact, he had an attack where he was doing that in the Injustice Battle Arena tournament. He was fighting Green Lantern, and
Yeah.
he actually had this combo he was doing, and he was actually screaming it out. He was like, "Solomon Grundy, born on the Monday, Christmas on the
Yeah.
Tuesday,
Tuesday, married on Wednesday,
married on a Wednesday,"
Thursday,
and he just ends with
reworks
a
on
tombstone
Friday.
pile driver, dude. It was pretty badass.
Yeah, I think I watched that with you, and I think I squeed like a little girl when that happened.
Me, Sullivan Grundy, sort of dropped the ball on that one.
Sullivan Grundy won pants too.
I definitely like the fact that he's wearing a noose tie in this costume in his default. The noose tie I always thought is pretty menacing, especially when Scarecrow wore that in Batman the Animated Series when they did his redesign.
Did he wear it in Arkham City or No, it was Arkham City. Did he wear it in Arkham City? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I probably his costume. He I think he's the only character. He's like one of the few characters who's not wearing armor.
Yeah.
It is straight up his casual clothing, which makes sense. I mean, why would a zombie need armor?
He's not afraid of dying and just come back later.
Exactly. But yeah, Grundy, definitely excited. I might. He looks like a grapple character too, so I may play as him. He looks a lot of fun. Anyone else?
No, nothing else.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say either.
Next character. Oh, this one everyone knows. The Man of Steel. The guy who once fought for truth, justice, and the American way, until being politically correct in the comic book industry fucked it all up. And he may not say that in the upcoming Man of Steel movie, which I still have expectations for. I really hope that movie doesn't fucking suck.
I do too, but when I
Justice.
saw him crab fishing,
Yeah, that means his new slogan of Superman. I fight for right, justice, and political correctness.
Superman. Um, a lot of people hate on Superman because he's too powerful or he's too much of a goody two shoes. To be honest with you, I love and respect Superman for that. I really do. Um, he has all this power in the world. He could be a total dick if he wants to. Well, there's that website, superdickery.com, but most of that shit's out of context. But
yeah.
he could be a total dick, but he chooses to use his power for the utmost right and not put himself above the law. Well, in other continuities, yeah, but in the New Justice movies, he's kind of a he's kind of a totalitarian douche. But
Isn't that why a lot of people hate this, are like not looking forward to this game because they really like destroyed his character for the sake of
I
the story?
I remember reading one of the interviews of Injustice. Some dude's like, "What? Superman's not acting like Superman. What's going on?" It's like, "Yeah, we thought we would make more Superman more interesting this way." I'm like I don't know, man. Superman does get a lot of BS hate on, but at the same time, he gets just as amount of love and respect for being what he is. I mean, Superman versus the Elite is nothing but social commentary about that. About how he doesn't like the idea of killing. He doesn't like the idea of using extreme intimidation. He,
Yeah,
he doesn't
yeah,
like the idea of putting himself above the law. The entire movie was all about that, and it's based off of a comic book called What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way. And it was pretty awesome. And,
like you say, why people don't like Superman. Like, yeah, like you said, because a lot. I think what it is, because a lot of people don't find him relatable because
yeah,
at least the other superheroes in DC, they're mortal. They got their weaknesses. Well, Superman doesn't. He does have weaknesses, but he doesn't have. But a lot of people like to overlook that. And also, just like in Injustice, it shows him that he has human emotions too, and when he's pushed in a certain direction, he will show his humanity. So yeah, he can't be relatable. He does have feelings like everyone else,
yeah,
and some people just don't like. Some people just overlook that fact.
there were times where Superman was kind of pushed to the limit for some things, but he managed to like hit the brakes before he could do anything straight up messed up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm making a prediction right now that the reason he's doing all this and the reason he's evil is because he's possessed by Parallax.
I'm under a lot of stress right now. Why? Because everyone you love and care about is dead, and we're doing nothing to help you fix your problems. Um, when his new 52 costume got redesigned, everything stayed intact, but he's no longer wearing red underwear.
Which
And
annoys me. Looks incomplete.
um, personally, I'm okay with it. However, it is starting to turn into a trend. His costume in Justice is definitely based off a New 52. a Man of Steel costume, just like that. I don't know if people can get used to it, and most people aren't comic book savvy or don't care enough to look it up online. Once they see that costume, it's like, "Where's the red underwear?" It's like, "Oh, didn't you know? New 52 fucked everything up."
He's just becoming more and more blue. They're gonna just have to start calling him Super Blue.
uh, well, he does have an alternate costume where more red is shown around the waist area. Speaking of alternate costumes, Superman is the only character I know whose pre-fight animations change depending on which costume you play as. His default costume has the traditional classic remove the glasses, tear off the suit, that iconic thing.
Hmm.
And his alternate costume, his second costume in Injustice, a bunch of regime soldiers show up, but then they look back and they go, "Oh, it's Superman. He's got this." And in his post-match victory pose, he actually, this might tick you off, but he actually goes to the opponent, to the defeated opponent, "Kneel before me," just in Chainsaw
Uh,
style, and the opponent actually kneels. It's kind of disturbing to look at.
oh yeah, I love that.
And when I saw his match against the Green Lantern, um, his pre-fight animation, and I believe he was wearing the new 52 costume. They show him flying from the Fortress of Solitude to the designated stage. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Why couldn't they do that for a lot of characters, depending on which costumes they picked? Or I'm really hoping they do that for some of them. But Superman, I actually like Superman the way he is. The way they're changing him to be more antagonistic and vilifying, and sometimes I can understand it, but then again, like I said, there were similar situations. I'm trying not to spoil it for you, but there have been similar situations where he was pushed to that moment, but he managed to stop himself. But here, he did not stop himself, and now he's putting
Yeah,
himself
he is
above.
wow.
Yeah, and now he is putting himself above the law, even though he was against all that.
Yeah.
But regardless, I am looking forward to him in this game, and he was also an obvious pick. That's all we gotta say.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say too, man.
All right, next character, the last one, um, on disc, Wonder Woman. Uh, I do want
I already
Uh,
said what I need to say.
I do want to check more. Well, she was playable in the demo. Uh, I definitely like her fighting style with the lasso because she had more mobility and she can air dash, so that was neat. Her sword and shield fighting stance is pretty reminiscent of, like, it's like a 2D version of Sophitia from Soul Calibur, which is just a character I usually main. Um, you know, Playing as her might be a little fun, but Wonder Woman as a character, I really don't know that much. Um, because of the lack of Wonder Woman pushing in mainstream media. I mean, she was shown in the Justice League cartoons. She had her own she did have her own direct to movie, her own direct to video movie, animated movie. And she did have her own classic TV series. But
then there
I
were
haven't heard
plans
anything
for her
about
making like
I haven't heard anything about upcoming movie with her, which would be nice. I know that a lot of feminists do like her. I know she's strong. I know her lasso's abilities. God, what else was I gonna say? Um, Something else was climbing into my skull, but then
I do agree with what Multifire said about her earlier that she's like one of the most iconic DC heroes, but yeah, but at the same time, not that many people know about her.
it's
She's
funny.
kind of like Superman.
It's funny. There's a guy I'm subscribed to on YouTube, and he is a comic book reader. He actually did a video a couple years ago saying, "Is Wonder Woman iconic or not?" And he actually puts up some decent arguments on how he doesn't consider her to be iconic. It's mostly for some of the reasons I listed, as was a few other things. But um, all I know is that Multifire, you don't like Wonder Woman. You you
I do
called
not.
you called her a bitch earlier in this video, if I'm not mistaken.
In this video, I'm pretty sure I called her a bitch. Did I call her a bitch in this video?
You probably did. I can't remember.
Okay,
You,
I probably did, yeah.
I know she's siding with Superman and the regime, so that doesn't.
Bitch.
Yeah, that doesn't.
My point is proven.
That doesn't. That's not doing her any favors. She's probably doing this because she loves Superman.
I mean, what was it? Was it Apocalypse, the one with Supergirl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie especially, she's just a huge bitch. She just shows up out of nowhere and is all like, "Okay, Superman, I know better than you, and I want to kidnap your cousin and take her to my island and train her to be an Amazon." And it's just like, "Fuck you!" And Superman reacted exactly the way I would have. He was just like, "Fuck you! This is like, what makes you think you can do any better than I am?
Because
Like she has
man,
my powers." Ugh. But she's a sexist bitch, and everyone likes her for some reason. I don't know why. I hate her, and she's just dull, bland, vapid personality, and I just don't like her at all.
wow. Trust, you're not the only person I know that's pretty critical of Wonder Woman. The guy I mentioned earlier, he was. I don't think he was as harsh as you, but he was pretty critical about Wonder Woman. And I actually saw his two-part review of the directed DVD movie. He really hated it. He thought it was like the worst of the Bruce Timm produced, DC animated movies out there. So
I haven't seen it yet. I plan to.
I
I read
plan
her
to.
comic.
I plan to as well. Because I do want to give Wonder Woman a chance, even though her talk about men's world and stuff does make me roll my eyes a little. But I do want, like I said, she is a potentially awesome character. Amazon, but yeah, female equivalent of Superman, except she's got some extra things about herself. She's got bracelets that can deflect bullets and stuff. She was created from clay.
Oh, she's like an Eve kind of thing.
Yeah, like
Oh, did not know.
she had similar blessings to Shazam. Like Shazam has like the strength of what was it the what was it the Mind of
An
Solomon.
acronym, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what the anagrams of Shazam are. She had something very similar to with her traits as well. Um, DC really does need to give Wonder Woman a push more in mainstream.
They they do. She was supposed to get like a live action TV show, like with Smallville and Green Arrow, but that didn't really took off the ground.
They push her all the time. They just don't realize that one, we don't like just really mean know-it-all characters, and two, we don't like characters that because most comic book readers are men, and we don't like being told how fucking awful we are. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
All right, bad. Sucks that we have to end it on that note. Now, some final thoughts. I am going to pick up this game when it comes out, and I mentioned I'm going to get the strategy guide. I really hope I enjoyed this game since we're talking extensively about it. Um, we've definitely gone we definitely gone forever in this video. I may have to ask someone else to edit this.
That is huge.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this game. It's coming out within a week. Played the demo. It was good. Um, yeah. Hope it doesn't suck. It was the only game I'm looking forward to this year.
I'm just like you. I'm excited for this game. I played a demo. Very pleased with it. I'm just gonna have to practice a little bit more. I may have to spend a few hours in the training mode. Kind of get used to it. But other than that, I'm looking really forward to this game, and I am confident that this game will do well, just because it's done by NetherRealm Studios, and NetherRealm Studio brought us Mortal Kombat, which I consider one of the best fighting games made this generation, and probably one of the best fighting games in history ever made. And I think it kind of set the standard of what a fighting game should be. So yeah, I'm confident this game will do well.
Multifire, how about you?
This game looks really good, really innovative. They're really pushing things. really taken the genre in a new direction. I'm excited about it. I played a lot of the demo. Ironically, right now my main is Wonder Woman. I don't know how that worked out. That's just going to be a love-hate relationship. But that's just life for you. I'm looking forward to the game. Gonna be a day one buy for me. If I can't buy it day one, certainly within a month, I'll definitely get the game. It's looking fantastic. So
All right, that's all I gotta say. Give us your thoughts about this game. Leave a by leaving a comment, video response, perhaps. That said, Darkscream 217 Darkscream 217 signing out.
Peace out.
I'll see you in future videos.
All right, let's and that's all. Bye.